Hey guys, Brandon Woolham hanging out in the CCM Cafe today here in Nashville with Lynn D. What's up?
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, so you guys have came from a far away place to get to Nashville. So a lot of these faces that are watching this might be the first time hearing the name and seeing you guys. So take us down the Lynn D story. Tell us a little bit about who's sitting here.
So we are Lin D. We're three siblings, and we're from Sweden in Northern Europe. So it's our first time over here in the U.S. touring, and we've been doing music all our lives. So I'm the oldest, and then Emmy and Ella. My name is Dennis. So yeah, that's us.
So kind of how did the musical part of the family start? Has it always been there, or was there a day where you're like, hey, I like to sing, and then you like to sing, and then, oh, she likes to sing too. Let's all get together.
Well,
Yeah, we come from a very musical family. Our mom comes from a touring family with Christian music. So she's from Norway, and they've been touring with her family her whole upbringing. And then we kind of figured we would do the same. So.
And here in America, especially here in Nashville, the Christian music scene is pretty large. In Sweden, I'm guessing it's not as large as maybe Nashville.
No, not at all. Yeah, Christians in general, it's not a big population in Sweden. There's 10 million people in Sweden, and I don't know, maybe 2% like goes to church, and yeah. So it's a big missions field, but we're doing it.
Yeah. Well, while you're here in America, these past few months and still a few weeks left, you're on Winter Jam, one of the biggest Christian tours every single year. How has that been, and how the crowds responded to seeing Lynn D out there every night?
It's been amazing. As we said, it's our first time touring in the U.S., and then for the first tour to be in like 38 different cities and arenas around the country is just amazing. Amazing lineup. Love to see all the artists every night, and the response has been great. We are on the pre-jam, so we're first out every night, so we get to like fill the room every night.
Warm up.
Trying to set the temperature.
And then you're done. You get to enjoy all the music all
That's
day.
right.
With a lot of bands you probably don't get to see in Sweden.
Yeah.
Right.
And with a great crew, all of the people on the Winter Jam tour is like a big family. It's so
awesome.
much fun.
Yeah. It seems like they receive us even though we come from Sweden, so that's a good thing.
So you've been to America before, but this tour is taking you to some cities you probably didn't know existed. What's been the most surprising city, most fun city you got to see on this tour?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like every city is so American in a good way. Like we're seeing a lot of America, and yeah, I mean every city's been different. I had never been to like Florida before. That was very nice to be there. And
Yeah, I feel like, all the cities have been special in their own way, so we don't want to pick a favorite.
No, exactly.
But it was cool to do the Nashville show since we've been here before, and we had a few friends who came to the Nashville show, so that was a special show.
And that Nashville show always has a lot of friends from everybody, because everybody is from Nashville pretty much on the tour, so you're meeting everybody's kids, their wives, their husbands. That backstage is a lot bigger than most cities, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people backstage, for sure.
So you've got a new single out there right now. Tell us a little bit about that and how people can listen.
Yeah, it's called Breathe Again, and it's the latest single we dropped, and it actually has a story that kind of came after we wrote the song that Ella can tell.
Yeah. So when we wrote the song, we didn't know about what was going to happen in the future, of course. But maybe a year after we wrote the song, this was maybe a year ago that my body completely crashed. And I had no idea why. I was like, what's happening to me? I thought I was sick first. Then I realized that it was because of stress and anxiety. I had been doing way too much. So the song really came to life through all of that, and seeing like how my whole family supported me, and how I had to realize that, okay, I need to calm down. I need to spend more time with God, and I need to sit down and like rest, not only rest and like be on my phone, but the real rest, like just do nothing and be in God's presence, and that really made the song so much more personal to us, and not only like telling people without experiencing experiencing it, but I've really gone through a very tough year, and I've been fighting to come back to where I used to be. Being on stage, loving what I do, I'm starting to come back to that now, and this song has really helped me to do that.
You guys are staying in Nashville on the off days of Winter Jam. Have you got to take in some of Nashville's songwriting scene on those off days? Have you wrote some on the off days of Winter Jam?
Not yet, not really. As you said, we go back every week, but that's mostly to rest. And then, of course, we have to drive everywhere, so that takes a bit of time. But we've been to Nashville before writing songs. So Breathe Again was actually a song we wrote in Nashville with our friends Tommy Iceland and Ryan Shirley that lives here. So.
Nice. We hear you talk. You sound like you have great English, but I'm guessing English is not your first language.
That's true.
Are the songs all written in English, or do you have different versions of this?
We do struggle a little bit sometimes with the English.
But we write all our songs in English. But English is actually our third language.
Wow.
So we speak Swedish, Norwegian, and then English. So sometimes we take in, English-speaking writers to get more of a poetic language, because you don't have that feel to it when it's not your native language, Yeah. So.
And then before we did the LIN D thing, we did Christian kids music back in Sweden. So we did 6 albums with most of the lyrics in Swedish. So we've done that too.
So we have that, but not Lindy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're over there in Sweden where it's not a lot of Christianity, and somehow you come out of there making Christian music. How did that start? Take us back to when you decided Christian music was what you were going to make.
Yeah, well, we come from a Christian family, so we've always been, in church, doing ministry, serving in church. But I think it came from a place where we saw a lot of people not having hope around us back home and also in the world. So we feel like we wanted to, use the music as a tool to spread hope, to spread Jesus, to spread light. And so we say this all the time. We could do anything. Right now it's music that we use because we love music and we feel like that's what we're supposed to do. But really it's just a tool to spread the gospel and spread the message of hope in Jesus.
Yeah. There's a very, very negative stamp on the future, I feel like, especially for the younger generation, like with all of the crisis going on in the world. But we feel like we know that God is so much bigger than all of that. And we feel like our generation and all of the generations has to hear about the hope and that there's something else than all of the negativity that we hear.
For us Americans who haven't been to Sweden, what do you think is like a misconception that people think about Sweden?
That it's Switzerland.
Yes! So many people like, oh yeah, we've been there to the airport. We're like, was the flag red or blue? Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, some people have come up to us like on this tour and they're like, oh, we've been to Sweden. Do you mean Switzerland? They're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, okay, sure. Yeah, but like we said, we don't know all the places that we've been to here either. So.
Yeah. Other misconceptions, I don't know what Americans think of Sweden, really.
No.
Yeah,
What
I don't
is
have an
it?
opinion
No.
either way. I don't know anything about Sweden except Lynn Deep is from there.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have like polar bears walking around. It's not that cold.
Not
Yeah.
that cold. Yeah.
You get nice weather this week while you're in Nashville.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very
So far.
nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can catch them on Winter Jam right now. Still a few dates of that left. And if you go, make sure you get there early. Don't go to dinner before. Just come into the venue. They're on the pre-jam. See them before they head back overseas. And once you head back over there, where can people follow you on the socials and everything?
Yeah, so our Instagram is lin.d.official. And from there, you'll find all the rest and the link in our bio.
The single's out there now and maybe more new music soon.
Yep.
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 Follow those socials and you'll find out all about it first.